How often would you train?
Yeah?
How often would you train?
If I can, almost every day. Sunday, like I said, I keep it off. Basically, almost every day. Yeah, I do a little bit almost every day.
How long would each session be?
I do at least 3 heavy sessions a week. So 3 hours.
You train for like 8.
When I say 3 hours, not just hanging around 3 hours. It's really intense.
You rely on parkour as in
You're like filming us.
but you would rely on it for finances, wouldn't you? You'd
Is it how you make your what do you do with parkour generations nowadays? Is that your
like main job, like your income?
Yeah, now it is now.
Yeah.
What does it feel like doing something you love?
For money?
Satisfying job.
It hasn't been the case. Parkour generation is quite new. It's been almost 2 years now, and since a year we can live from that. But, yeah, it took 10 years, basically to get to this point.
Alright.
How do you feel about free flow when they're more champs?
No, you can't.
I think it's a mistake.
I feel because I didn't.
I think it's bad for the discipline. It's bad for parkour. Damage the image of the sport. It was a crap event. Sorry to say. You ask me, so I tell you.
I know.
I think it's crap. I think it's shit. I think it should never happen again. And I will fight very hard to stop this kind of stuff. Competition is really dangerous for your ego.
Don't look at me.
I don't know whether you were in urban free flow.
I said it works as an event. It doesn't work as a competition.
Chase on it.
I met Chase, he's a good guy.
They don't just focus on parkour free run. They have martial arts and stuff like that. What do you think of that?
I think everybody do what he wants. As long as he knows why he's doing that, why he wants to mix martial arts. Just do you know why are you doing it? It's very important to understand why you do things deeply inside you. Why do I do that thing? Seriously, why? I know why you do parkour, but why you do backflip or why you start adding stuff. You may have an answer, I'm not saying it's bad, but it's really important to understand the process, why you're doing this. So I'm not judging, you can do, for me you can do everything you want, as long as you know, as long as it's done properly, and as long as you're not, again, if you take care of yourself, you do what you want to do, you shouldn't blame other people for what they're doing, as long as you're happy with yourself. It's good.
Around here, there's a lot of people who are saying, well, if you're training, they'd always be like, yeah, you're not training parkour, you're training this, and try to tell you what you're doing, instead of letting you know what you're doing.
Well, you said that.
I would say again, the more important for me is being good as a human being and improve yourself, in many different. You should improve yourself physically and mentally as well. So for me, it's more about improve. It doesn't matter what you do.
He told me if you want to come and train with us, because I didn't live in Lys, I lived 200 kilometers from there. So he told me come around if you want. I came for 3 days and I trained very hard with Johan, with Sébastien Goudot, and with another guy called Mike. And that's how I started.
So they sort of took you under their wing?
Yeah. I spent a lot of time training with those 3 guys specifically. I saw Stephane a few times, trained a little bit with him, but the serious training with him started several years later. Before it was just with Johan, Seb and Mike.
Did you suffer many major injuries?
Sorry?
Did you suffer any major injuries?
Nothing too serious. I broke a bone in my wrist. I didn't know it was broken. I was in pain for several months and I still kept on training. But I didn't have something that really forced me to stop for a long time. So I've been quite lucky with that.
Do you think it's better to train alone or alone?
Personally I train most of the time alone because as I said, I wasn't living in Lys, so I couldn't train all the time with the other guys. So I would go to Lys, I would learn some new techniques and try to understand the state of mind that they train in, and then I would bring all this back to where I live and train on my own for several weeks or months. So my training was alone, and it made me much stronger in my mind. I made very much progress compared to people who only train in groups. I know I'm very independent now. I don't need anyone to train. I can spend 1 year alone and train all the time. I don't need someone to motivate me. I know what I'm capable of doing. You know, I know myself much more. So it's very good to train alone. It's much harder, but it's very good.
I wish I could do that.
Where's Bollywood?
Whenever I'm alone, I'm always like very.
I'll put him back in the box.
Yeah, the thing is, when you train alone, you don't have anyone to tell you their opinion about a jump. For example, if you're facing a jump, you think maybe I can do this jump, but I'm not sure. You cannot not ask your friend, do you think this jump is possible? You cannot ask him. So you have to find out by yourself if it's possible. You have to find the answer in your own self, and it's hard. The progress is much longer. It takes much more time to make progress, but the progress you make is very strong. You know, you become much stronger in your mind.
Did you have any previous like sport background leading up to parkour? Like, I know a lot of people do martial arts beforehand.
Yeah,
or?
a little bit, but nothing. I wasn't training very intensively. I started that when I did parkour because I wanted to train very hard in martial arts, but I didn't have anyone to teach me properly, so I couldn't really express that part of myself. So when I discovered parkour, I saw how those guys were training really hard, and I really loved it. So that's when I really started following their way of training and training really hard too.
Do you think things might have went the other way? If you did find someone to teach you martial arts intensely, you would have never found parkour? Until maybe nowadays when it's all over adverts and websites?
I don't know. I think I might still be involved in martial arts if I had found someone, yeah, but I know that when I discovered parkour, I really felt like it was a part of me that I was discovering, you know. So I think anyway I would still be involved in some way in parkour.
Did you, Stephane, have any like sport background before parkour? Like martial arts?
A little bit of martial arts and breakdance, but it was like you said, it wasn't intense training. It was normal activity. Yeah, it was fun. It was cool. I liked it, and I trained seriously, but I wasn't as dedicated as I was when I started parkour. I dedicated all my soul to parkour when I discovered it. Really crazy.
So is tomorrow going to be our hardest training ever then?
Well, the class.
Sunday,
yeah.
I don't know. I think will be a bit. It will be a change for you.
Good.
Very good.
I can't wait.
What do you think about the new generation of people who start parkour and progressing so quickly?
I think it's just a lack of knowledge most of the time. It's because people they want to train, they want to move, but they don't know how to train, they don't know the method of training. So that's why we work hard with parkour. We do lots of workshops, seminars, we try to meet people and make them experience training with us and see that there's a bit more than just a jump. That's behind the jump.
Everyone in? Go everyone in. Where's mine? I have a camera too. Everyone move in.
Oh god, so many cameras. Hey, you fucking See, I can't do that. I'm actually taking a picture. I'll just hit record and hope for the best. See if you knock my camera off, I will. Shut up! Hang on. Go, guy. I need to be the last one to go. Go. That's the blur. Rest of the Oh, wait. Final flash, you win the line. Second pose. Oh, wait.
Bet you I missed everyone.
Oh, no, I didn't quite right. I know who's in mine.
Here, I was actually lucky there.